gorgeous people. Welcome to the Hair at First podcast, where great hair meets real life. We're your hosts, Tessa,
Monica,
and Michelle.
Three stylists, moms, besties. We're keeping it real about beauty, business, and the chaos of motherhood.
We're here to share stories, laugh way too loud, and maybe spill a little shampoo along the way. Just a quick heads up, we're not making any medical claims or giving professional advice here, just sharing our own thoughts, opinions, and experiences.
So grab your coffee, your favorite blanket, and let's hair it first.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hello, Monica and Michelle.
Good morning.
Well, all you listeners out there, if you are returning and have been following us thus far, thank you for coming back to us. If you are new here, put on your big girl pants because it's a ride every episode. And we promise it will be a ride every episode because you have no clue what the heck's coming out of our mouths. But today we have some pretty interesting topics, I feel like. I know I've got one I've got to throw at these girls today. And if you are listening and you've heard about this stuff, send in some comments because I'm just mind blown. I'm going to go down the biggest, longest rabbit hole ever. So,
I'm always scared. I'm always scared. Always.
You just never know.
You guys have to understand.
Yeah.
This morning, we had a fog delay. So my kids were 2 hours late going to school. So my son normally starts school at 9. So he didn't get to school till 11 o'clock this morning. I get a text message. Me and Michelle get a text message on the way back. And she's like, have you heard about these dolphin conspiracies? And I'm like, Jesus, every day I don't think that there's anything Tessa could say that would make me be like, yep. And every time I'm always like, and there she is. There she is. So Michelle and I know nothing more than there's some dolphin conspiracy. And I was like, this is how today's going to know. I can't wait to hear what's getting ready. Yeah.
There's actually a lot of dolphin conspiracies that I had no idea was even going on out
First,
there.
I have a question.
And so,
how did you even find that there were dolphin conspiracies? How did
Michelle,
you even...
I'm so glad you asked me this question because honestly, it is not. I'm going to dedicate this episode to my cousin. To my cousin Brecklin, because I don't know how we went from talking about rivers to dolphins, but we did this morning. And she's like, "Oh my God, have you heard the story about the dolphin, about the guy that got kidnapped and held underneath the water for 3 days by a dolphin?" And I was like,
and survived?
"What?" Okay, well, listen.
This is hard for me. I have a lot of questions. I'm trying
this
to be
guy
quiet.
in Florida. I'm going to send you guys, I'll have to send you guys the article too. So this guy in Florida, they found him on the beach, just completely disheveled, all of these things. And this guy said he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build them an underwater city. And so basically this guy, he was sunburnt really, really bad. He was found on a beach in Lee County, Florida, after being held underwater for 3. You are so lucky you escaped.
Oh my gosh. I could have been the dolphin city builder.
I know. I'm sad for you. I am sad that you didn't experience this. But this guy was saying that this dolphin held him underwater for 3 days. And you guys, the dolphin's name is Gerald.
Okay. I have some questions. If he was underwater, why was he sunburned?
Okay.
Okay. How did he survive underwater for 3 days? And has anybody at any point in time checked him into a facility to check his mental status?
Well, I'm looking into that because
Of course you are.
The man allegedly drew blueprints of the underwater city and in the sand, and he communicated with the dolphins through a series of clicks that he claimed to have learned to interpret. Descriptions of the underwater condos, a town square, and a recreation center sketched out in the beach. They said that it was so intricate, and so they've never seen anything like it. So
I have something real quick. Okay. First of all, I mean, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but there's so many things in this world that we don't know and beyond us, right? Like, how do we know that's not true? I mean, there's so many stories of hidden cities. Do you know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like,
Well, that
and-
leads into the next dolphin thing. It does. What you're saying right now, there's so much out there that we missed, you guys, because
and everything is hidden in plain sight. Like what? All these, like Epstein and all that bullshit, they just
Yep.
throw it in your face and we all think, no, that couldn't be happening. That's too bad. All the shit in
Yes.
Disney movies and all that stuff. Like,
yes.
I don't know.
Well, they're debunking the story.
Of course.
It was this kind of story that was almost too wild not to share. But there are people out there that believe this story. And there are people out there that are like, now this is a bunch of shit. Because I guess there was a story a long time ago that talked about the same thing. But then in the rabbit hole of dolphining today, I have a friend, they went to swim with the dolphins or whatever. And the girl, or her daughter, was pregnant. Well, they wouldn't let her swim with the dolphins, but this mama dolphin followed her everywhere. You know, like she was on the outside of the thing. Anyway, it is a thing that dolphins know when you are pregnant. So they really believe, and this very well could be true, that dolphins can communicate with the babies in utero through sonar, and these babies turn out to be geniuses. But you go back thousands of years, and I'll send you this article, where that is a way that babies and people and mothers would learn to communicate. Like they would swim with the dolphins would do all these things with these pregnant mamas, and then these kids, I don't know, there's a whole communication there with dolphins, and we're like integrated with dolphins and dolphin language.
So they do say that dolphins are one of the smartest,
Yes.
like,
I was just gonna say that.
animals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, just freaking wild. And so I'm going to have to send you guys all of this because, like, there's just so much about it and our dolphin physical daters.
So speaking of conspiracy theories, now the new thing is that we didn't actually go to the moon.
That's not new.
Yeah.
And I
I've been-
100% believe that. We did go to the moon. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we got into this conversation
This
because
stuff
that
gets me
has been
fired up.
around
Yeah.
for
Yes,
years, but
We did
it is
not go to
back.
the moon.
It's back bigger.
Why
I don't
haven't
think
we
we
been
did either.
back?
I don't think we did either.
Okay. Hold on a second. We have to pause because I'm getting irritated. Okay. So I told my kids were supposed to have a half day of school today. This is what happens when your messages, you have a MacBook and your messages, you can see them. I forgot to put my thing on Do Not Disturb. My kids were supposed to have a half day of school today. For what reason? I don't know.
I mean,
End
they
of
just
the
said spring
quarter?
break. Why not take more
Yeah.
time off?
They were off on Monday. Let's by all means, let's have a half day on Friday. Okay? No,
And go
whatever.
till July.
We're going till June 17th.
Right.
So they had a fog delay this morning. So now they, it's a full day of school because they had a half day. Why did I just get an alert that says, mind you, today is April 10th. I know this is going to come out later, but today is April 10th. This is a message from Caroline County Public Schools. Monday, April 13th is now a newly scheduled half day for students.
No way.
Why?
Why do they think they can do that so last? People have to come up with sitters. People have to work. Why do they think they can do that so last?
My middle school and high schooler, do you know what time they get out of school on a half day? 11:45.
Oh.
11:45. My Preschooler gets out of school at 1.
I cannot.
Why on God's green given earth do we now, with 2 days notice, now have a half day on Monday?
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. For sure. Like, they can't just do that to people. Well, I guess they can.
They can.
But
And I've always wondered, like, why half days are so pointless?
yes.
Because
What's the point?
half day counts as a full day. As long as they serve them lunch, it counts as a full day of school.
Now, see,
Maybe
we
the
have to
teachers
go
catch
till
up.
we have to go till 1 or 1:30. I can't remember for it to be counted.
Okay.
That's our half day here.
Listen, I understand. I would never be a teacher because, quite frankly, I would be fired within 4.4 seconds
too.
because I'd be whacking some kid upside the head because they just.
Whack.
But I also know that in our county, everything is done on computers. Everything. Their math homework is done on computers. Like, very little is done on pen and paper. It does not take you that long to grade stuff. It
No.
doesn't. I don't
The
care
computer
who
does it
you
for you.
are. Computer does it for you. It's pretty much done, and all you have to do is input those grades. Our teachers might have needed a half day of school to go through the stacks of papers
Yes.
that they needed to go through. But let's be real. My 10th graders' English work is all done on a computer.
Maybe they need a mental health day. That's
I
all
need a
right.
mental health
All right.
day. Mondays are my mental health day. They
I'm
need
sticking
to
up
be
for
at
the
school.
teachers. Sorry,
Listen,
I got the
I-
teachers.
If
I
hear
love-
that,
I
damn
love our
word,
teachers.
mental health
I
day.
love our teachers. And if they need that day, it is what it is. But
Give
like,
you more notice.
yeah, 2 days is not enough notice. Like that's ridiculous.
Mhm.
And quite frankly, like I said, Mondays are my days. And now,
That's right.
now I can't go to lunch with my friend. I can't go to lunch with my friend because now I gotta pick up my children from school. Ridiculous.
I have to say, my nephew, he is a teacher and the baseball coach here at our school, and he's a history teacher. We got to get him on here. You talk about conspiracies, he'll unravel
Oh, I
every single
love
one
it.
you've ever. He's the
Oh my God,
most.
yes.
Seriously, and he's hilarious. We got to get him on here. But he is an old school teacher. He is 37 years old, but old school teacher. He doesn't do all that crap on the computer. He still teaches, and he doesn't put up with no shit from the students either.
That's
He's like, "You're
awesome.
gonna, if you are not gonna finish this, no, you're not getting your grade, like whatever." But I'm so proud of him for still being a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And not just relying on all of that. And I am, but yeah, we got to get him on here.
It's so hard to be a teacher these days. Like I remember, and we've talked about this before, like getting in trouble at school, you were in so much more trouble at home. And like, I'm telling, like these kids, Kenley
Now the
came home from
parents come in.
school. Yeah, Kenley came home from school yesterday and was like, 2 girls in my class got in a fight. There was blood everywhere. And I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, one girl was pulling the other girl's extensions out. Like there was blood all over the place. And I'm like, where were the teachers? And she was like, they sit there and tell them to stop, but they can't jump in and break it up because those students could say that their teachers put a hand on them and then the teachers could be in trouble. So like
Oh my
they
God.
have to try, like they have to make sure that if they get involved, they can completely diffuse the situation without like touching. And I'm like, you know what? I remember there being fights and like the teachers would body slam
Oh my God, yeah.
the students and be like, get your stuff together.
Yep.
Like
They would
what are
put them
you
in
doing?
trash
Take 'em
cans.
up by the scruff
And
of their
mine,
neck.
put them in the trash can.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like
You were
they were
scared of your
just
teachers.
Yes.
You didn't want to get in trouble.
Yep.
But I also
But you
feel
respected
like
them.
yes, I also feel like, there's such a lack of respect. We've talked about this before too.
Yeah.
The amount of lack of respect of people of authority. Like
Yep.
that to me is insane.
Yep.
I have, like there's a sense that you have to like have and people don't have it. This generation of parents, and I hate to say it because it's my generation of parents. Like, I saw a thing on TikTok and it was like, I feel like people born between the year 1980 and the year 1989 should just have our own category. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm not a millennial. Like, these soft, gentle parents, like, that ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm not a millennial. I'm like,
You're on the cusp.
I'm like, and that's the
With
crap
Gen
part.
X.
Like, I lean more Gen X, but I'm a millennial. Like, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
That's why
Because
we love you.
millennials suck.
Yeah, that is why we love you. That's why, yeah, you're an old soul with us. That's
Well, believe me,
Um,
this morning when I rolled over in bed, I felt like the oldest soul ever. I was like, oh, I need a heating
know.
pad.
It gets harder and harder, especially when you're a damn stylist. But I do want, listen, Monica,
What?
Michelle and I said our piece about this. Did we go to the moon? What are your
No.
thoughts?
I do not think that we, in the 1970s?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Because think about it. Like, let's think about this logically. They sent a picture the next day in 1970, and you're telling me that in 2026 we have a delay where we can't get those images back? Like, come the hell on.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
People are sheep. I'm sorry.
here is
Yes.
my other 100%. Here's my other thing. Gas here. I don't know how much gas costs for you guys.
I was gonna bring that up.
but
I
like
just filled up my car. What is
Yeah.
it there?
Yeah, what are you
here, our gas price for regular unleaded is $4.17, and our diesel price is over $6 a gallon. And you're telling me we're spending billions of dollars to go to the moon?
Right.
Thank you. I hate NASA. There, I said it.
I said it. So I like NASA, and I only like NASA so much because one of my girlfriends that makes my tallow, she works for NASA. So I do like NASA, and I think the idea of all this stuff is amazing because I love science. I love the planets. Like, I love looking up at the stars and
Then be
wondering,
honest about
like,
aliens.
what those things are. But like, the point of the fact that we are broke. Yeah. Why do, yeah. And
Listen,
there's good, we're supposed to go back up. Like, people are supposed to be going to the moon. Artemis 3, 4, and 5 are already planned by 2028.
listen, I have to say this. Okay, before I get shot and murdered for saying I hate NASA. I respect what they're doing, but right along with what you just said, Monica, why in the fuck are we spending all this fucking money to go to other planets when we can't even control our own fucking planet? And yeah, I said a lot of fucks in there, and I am not sorry. That's bullshit. We're gonna go back. What the fuck do we need to go back for? We need some help here on
It
Earth.
doesn't affect our daily
Let's-
life. Like,
let's
quit
not
spending
even-
our money. Because it
Yes.
is our money. It's the taxpayers'
Yes.
money.
Yes.
And then
so, yeah,
investors.
it bothers me.
Overseas investors and stuff like that. But yeah, here we are, $6 a gallon for diesel fuel. It cost me $126 to fill up my Suburban. But I've realized I can't complain about gas because I have a truck driver husband. And I'm like, I spent $126 on gas. And he was like, cool. I spent $1,400
Oh, shit.
to fill my truck up. And I'm like,
Oh, my God.
oh,
All right, you win. You win.
it's fine. And he's like, and I didn't fill up the reefer. And I'm like, okay. I will.
So I just got a new car. So I had a Ford Explorer, and now I have a Hyundai Palisade.
and it's beautiful.
Thank you. I love it. But they're in like the same class, right?
Mhm.
However, it costs me $30 more to fill up this tank. It's a big.
Does it have like a larger tank?
It does. Now, don't ask me how many gallons per mile or miles per gallon. I don't freaking know that stuff. I never have. And the only reason I know how much gas was is because it kept going up. It was like $71 for me to fill up my car today. And I was like, what the hell? So it was $4.09. That's exactly how I feel.
Does it say $4.09?
And
I
only had
ours is still under $4. So I guess I can't mine. I think ours was $3.20 when I looked.
What?
Okay.
jealous.
But
So
diesel's
jealous.
higher than hell. But that's a huge jump here. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's so different everywhere anyways. So it was a huge jump for here.
Well,
But
our gas prices always go up in the summer because people go
ours
to the
do too.
beach. They always skyrocket.
well,
But
they're gonna rape everybody on that.
yeah, I
when
mean,
people are traveling.
well, because the reality of it is, like, I honestly, until like everything happened with the war, I didn't even look at gas prices because I think to myself, it doesn't matter. I still have to get gas. Like, it would matter if it was $12 a gallon. I still have to get gas. I still have to go places. But Craig, obviously, is way more in tune with what gas prices are. And he was like, "Did you look at gas prices?" And I was like, "What does it matter? Like, we can sit here and complain about it all we want. It's not going to stop us from filling up our gas tank. Like, it's just how it is." So, yeah. But speaking about money, so I've had a week. I logged onto my bank account and realized that I had 30 fraudulent charges. 30 charges of $40 a piece
How
to
like in what time?
Starbucks in 2 days. No. Yeah, in 2 days. They were split up like
Who
half
drinks
and
that much coffee? Or
Okay, so this is
drinks?
my
They
thing.
got some cake pops. What the fuck?
It ended up being
Give me all your cake pops.
$1,200 to Starbucks. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I went to go and order stuff online, and I got alerted as fraud. They were like, "You have to approve this." I'm like, "Cool." So I call the bank and I'm like, "Listen," I like looked at my Starbucks app. I was like, "Shit, do I have $1,200 of Starbucks money on my card? Like, that's not okay." So I'm like, "No, I don't." So I call the bank and I'm like, "Can you explain to me how my one charge for 30, I think it was like $35 or $36, you alerted as fraud, but 30 charges to Starbucks didn't alert you?"
It's a good
he was
point,
like-
Monica.
He was like, I understand. And I was like, "I don't think you do." And so
The system is broken.
I said, like, something is wrong here. So, and I get everything straight. My bank is, I really don't like the bank, but I love the people that work at the bank. They're the same people that have worked there when it was our small hometown bank. So they got everything straight for me, closed out my, cards and everything. So I opened my mail yesterday. Now, this was on my business account for the salon. And my salon was called Blown Away Hair Studio. So I get this, and it's from Apple Pay, telling me that they're thanking me for adding that to my Apple Pay. I don't have it on my Apple Pay, and it's made out to Blown a Hair. So I sent Craig a picture of this morning. I was like, "Hey, I figured out what happened. Somebody put it on here." So to top it all off, so I have all this going on with the bank. I have no debit card. I could use I have other accounts, but those are like specific accounts for other things. So I just don't like to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I typically put everything on my credit card so I can get the points, and then I just pay my credit card. I get a call from the credit card company. They're like, "Hey, Miss McCafferty, did you make a $7 purchase to Etsy and a 38-cent purchase to this other thing?" And I was like, "No." They were like, "We didn't think so. It doesn't look like your normal pattern of spending. So we're going to go ahead and close out your credit card, and we're going to send you a new one." I called Craig and I was like, "I have never in my entire life felt more broke than I feel right now." And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I literally have one credit card left. Like, if they steal this credit card, I got no money. I would be poor, and I can't go to Starbucks." And he was like, he goes, "Babe, I wouldn't let you go without. Like, I would give you one of my cards." And he was like, "But the fact that you're concerned It's the fact you won't be able to go get coffee or spend money. It kind of makes me feel something. And I'm like,
I love
you just like, I can't go to Walmart. What am I supposed to do?
All I can keep
Speaking-
thinking is Reba McEntire right now. Paul's Randos. Mama's real sick and the baby's gonna starve to death.
Yes,
Fancy, here's your one chance.
yes. I was Gary.
Here's your one
Had to be
chance,
fancy. I was
Yeah.
Gary. Had to be fancy. Sell myself. Just sell myself. But
We'll
speaking
buy you.
of Walmart, so I had to go to Walmart last night, and I forgot my wallet at home. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll just do tap to pay because I have one credit card on my wallet for situations like that. Do you know Walmart does not have tap to pay?
Oh my God, did you do all your shopping and then couldn't buy it?
No. My biggest fear.
It was one thing. Craig needed to print out invoices because he had a straw delivery. And I was like, it's fine. I'll run to Walmart. I was exhausted yesterday. I was like, it's fine. I'll run to Walmart. I got to pick Courtney up from work anyway. I'll go to Walmart. I get to Walmart. I'm like, shit, I forgot my fucking wallet. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I've got one card. I'll just tap to pay. I go get the stupid ink and I grab myself a chocolate bar because I'm trying to diet, but I was really pissed off and I just, like I needed a moment. And I like stick my phone up to like start tapping and he was like, "Man, we don't have tap to pay." I looked at him, I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "This is a multi-billion-dollar company and you're telling me you don't have tap to pay?" And he was like, "I really don't even want to tell you anything right now." And I was like, "I'm not mad at you, but it's fine. It is what it is." I called Craig and I was like, "I can't get your fucking ink because Walmart doesn't have tap to pay." And he was like, "Babe, where's your wallet?" And I was like, "I guess it's at home on my desk." He was like, I'll meet you at Bullock's with my card. And I was like, fine.
You should have said, but I stole the fucking candy bar because I fucking needed it.
I didn't. The guy was like, "Just let me take this stuff for you." And I walked back in and I was like, "Please tell me you haven't put that stuff back." And he was like, "Absolutely not. Here you go." He even scanned it for me. He was like, "Here you go." Like, whatever. This is ridiculous. I'm over it. I think everything, we are in a digital era.
I
You
hate
should
it.
have tap to pay.
I hate it too.
I hate it.
I still accept cash and checks at my salon. That's
Well,
what
and
I
this is the
accept.
thing. They're
Cash
going
and
to take
checks.
it all away.
I
So
know.
They're going to track everything. And I know I
know.
sound like one of those conspiracy theorists, but Jesus, they already took pennies away. That's the beginning. They aren't making any more pennies. So now you go to the store and it's like $5.78. Well, they don't give you that 2 pennies anymore. They just make
Nope,
that money.
I just seen a big sign on our bank window saying the government is no longer issuing pennies. If you have pennies, if you have an account here, you can come in and cash your pennies from this date to this date, and that is it. If you do not have an account here, you can open an account so you can cash your pennies in, or you have to go elsewhere. This is fucking real. I was like, this
I'm
is
telling you.
wild.
I
This
guess
is
I need
wild.
to like, we have a
going to
big
cash
water
ours in.
jug. I guess I'm
me
gonna go
too.
have to put all of our change in there and just cash it all in.
That's what I told Adam yesterday when I was like, we're just going to have to go cash all that in or it's just going to be worthless.
Yeah.
But then you think, so my mom has been digging into this where if you have pennies or even cash money with certain dates on it, it's worth so much money.
Right.
She had a $20 bill the other day, checked the serial number, and it was worth $40. Wild,
Wow.
huh? Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to go through all the change
Yeah,
pennies.
I'm not going
But
through
I
that.
told-
I'm going to put it in a sack and take it to the bank, and then I'll just put the cash that we get back in the water jug. That's our, if we
There you
ever
go.
get a chance to go away.
Yeah, there you
Which
go.
we won't.
Well, and
So.
you might as well start cashing in your change, all your change, because they're gonna. I feel like, okay, we've got rid of the pennies. Here we go. This is gonna be a snowball effect, and they're gonna do it all.
Yeah, I agree.
We're fine. That's when I'm going underground, girls.
I'm going to be with you. I've already said this is for another episode. I want to build a bunker. And my husband thinks I'm crazy. I want a bunker. Has anybody watched
share a
Paradise?
bunker? Can we?
Okay, that is okay.
That's got to be the next
Yes.
episode.
We're at our time limit
We
on
are.
this episode.
Sorry for
but
all the swear words.
I'm not
But
sorry.
not really.
Not really.
I am not sorry. I love everybody, but I am not sorry. Especially, I'm sorry about NASA.
I do love you, Carrie, and I love your part in NASA.
Carrie, I do too. If Monica loves you, I love you.
I
And
do.
I don't hate NASA. I just hate the priorities of NASA. Sorry. All right.
Well,
Thanks.
on that note,
On that note, we will let you poor souls go for today.
next
Please
time.
join us on the next one. We'll see you next Friday on Hear It First. Love you, girls.
love you.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Hear It First. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you laughed, learned, and maybe felt a little more seen through all of the good hair days and the hot mess ones too.
Remember, we're just sharing our own thoughts and experiences. No medical claims or professional advice here. Just real talk from stylists and moms who get it.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share Hair It First with your fellow beauty lovers and boss moms. We will catch you next time with more stories, laughs, and probably a little conditioner in our hair.